Of all the fighters who competed on ShoBox The New Generation in 2019, Xavier Martinez among those who shined the brightest. He crushed Filipino John Moralde in his series debut in April, then scored a 21-second KO victory versus Jesse Chris Rosales in November. One of the shortest fights in ShoBox history. Martinez, who turns 23 tomorrow, a rising star with some serious firepower. He is 15-0, 11 wins inside the distance. Now, his 11-month layoff due to the pandemic is a career high, but he is hopeful that he can record his 8th straight knockout in the mid-rounds of this 12-round, 130-pound title eliminator.
Speaking of careers, he is ready to transition from day trading to primetime contender during this pandemic. He took classes of day trading, and he says he wakes up at 5 in the morning, day trades, and then he goes for a run. So, I got to put money on stocks. This is the guy to hit.
I think day trading has become as commonplace as making sourdough bread during the pandemic. Everybody's a day trader.
And he said he's good, not just good, really good at it.
Well, we will see if he can continue to be as good as a boxer. 15-0, 11 knockouts. He is the X-Man, and let's take a look at the numbers.
We've alluded to the fact that after 10 years as a professional, Marrero moving up in weight. So this is the highest weight he has fought at, and we'll see how he can do, especially against a big puncher.
All right, we are set for the ring introductions, and with those duties, the one and only Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Mohegan Sun Arena here in Uncasville, Connecticut, Premier Boxing Champions presents our next attraction in the ring, brought to you by Mayweather Promotions, TGB Promotions, and Showtime, sponsored by Geico. This bout is sanctioned by the WBA, the president Gilberto Jesus Mendoza, and our 3 judges scoring from ringside. From Hebron, Connecticut, Tom Carasone. From Avon, Connecticut, Glenn Feldman. And from Flushing, New York, John McKay. And we introduce our third man to the ring, the referee in charge of the action, Arthur Mercanti. All right, fans, here we go with the co-main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing scheduled for the WBA Super Featherweight World Title Eliminator. Introducing to you first on my left, he is fighting out of the red corner, entering the ring wearing black trunks with red trim, hailing from and representing his home of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. He weighed in at the super featherweight limit of 130 pounds even. His record stands at 24 wins, 4 losses, with 17 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the veteran southpaw contender and current WBA number 4 ranked super featherweight, introducing Claudio, the Matrix Marrero. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing gold trunks with black trim. He is representing his home of Sacramento, California. He weighed in the same as his opponent, 130 pounds even. He is undefeated in his campaign to the ring with a record of 15 wins, no losses. 11 of his wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the current undefeated WBA number 7 ranked world contender, introducing Xavier Martinez. Once again, our referee in charge now to give instructions, Arthur Mercanti.
Good evening, gentlemen. We went over the rules early in the dressing room. I expect you to obey these rules. Let's have a nice, clean fight. Touch gloves. Good luck to the both of you.
Arthur Mercanti in his 36th year as a professional referee, about to work his 356th professional bout, 12 rounds or less in the 130-pound weight class. And the bell goes. Round number 1. Xavier Martinez in the gold and black trunks. Claudio Marrero in the black with red.
So Marrero has twice before knocked out undefeated fighters in round one, Jorge Lara and Carlos Zambrana. Lara was 29-0-1, Zambrano 26-0. He wants history to repeat itself.
Meanwhile, Martinez, facing his second southpaw in his last 4 fights, knocked out Davy Julio Basa in February of last year, says the key to beating this lefty is pressure behind the jab and turning Marrero. Martinez lands nearly 9 jabs around.
Exactly, and he does that really well, Martinez. He's not a fast starter. He likes to measure the fighter. He likes to see what he has. Not a fast starter, but definitely knows how to work that jab and gets that right hand in really nice.
And of course, southpaws are notorious for their ability to blunt the jabs of right-handers. But as we saw in Marrero's most recent fight against Kid Galahad, maybe the stick could be a decisive weapon for the X-Man Al.
Yeah, it's very possible. Martinez feels he's going to stay committed to that punch. And Martinez has faced 2 lefties in his last 6 fights. And Ray Woods, his longtime trainer, who's been his trainer since he was 7 years old, said, you know, he does well against lefties.
Ray Woods, of course, the stepfather of the deceased former 3-division champion. Diego Corrales, one half of the greatest fight in Showtime boxing history against Jesus Luis Castillo. And Al, you were there.
Yes, that was an amazing evening, one of the greatest ever.
And it was, can you imagine a fight like that taking place in an atmosphere like this? The crowd made it as dramatic as the fight was.
Yeah, and it was an extraordinary evening on every level.
And
you know,
sorry, go ahead, Al.
No, I was just going to say, you know, you could tell Martinez understands this is a step-up fight. He's fighting much better competition, and that's part of the reason why I think he's taking a moment to figure this all out, because he could walk into a left hand from Marrero.
And referee Mercante warning them to watch their feet, of course, orthodox southpaw. We've seen stepping on each other already.
And Martinez doing a fantastic job of figuring out Marrero. I mean, just look at the right distance, not a distance where Marrero can let his hands go or hit him. And another interesting thing that Martinez is doing, and he's walking to his right instead of his left against a southpaw, but it seems like he feels comfortable there.
Yeah, the only problem with that is that Marrero left hand is a shocker, and that's the one that caused those 2 knockdowns, so we'll see.
Well, there's a left hand, lands for Martinez. Hand speed of Marrero on display. Marrero at 31, making his debut at 130 at the end of round 1.
Let's take a look at the keys to victory for these 2 men. We will start with Martinez. Be a responsible aggressor. He was that in round 1. Don't rush in because you'll get hit with that counter left. And combinations. He is a terrific combination puncher. We saw just a smattering of that in round 1. And his left hook is one of the best I've seen in a young boxer. It's short, compact, and powerful.
Keep playing him.
For Marrero, survive early, go deep. He's got to get past these early rounds when Martinez is extremely dangerous and get to the later rounds. Martinez has only been up to round 8. Establishing the jab, very important. He started to do that. And the straight left hand. That's his power punch, and that's the one he wants to land.
This is round number 2. Martinez, just 22 years of age, and his confidence continues to build with each and every outing. He feels that no one can beat him. He told us that he goes into the ring with the mindset of his opponent being just another man in front of his dreams.
And he was able to spar with Gervonta Davis in Las Vegas a couple of times before this fight. And
yeah, if you're going to have a COVID-long layoff, like a career-long layoff, sharpening your skills against a guy like Davis, not a bad way to spend the time.
Yeah, he said that was a great experience for him, and so see how much that helps him.
And we look forward to a great experience 1 week from tonight in San Antonio, Texas, Alamo Dome. Gervonta Davis, Leo Santa Cruz headlining a 4-fight pay-per-view. And, of course, still to come tonight, much-anticipated main event between Sergey Lipinets and late notice replacement, but an undefeated Canadian by the name of Castillo Clayton. So, big matchup at 147 as Martinez goes to work here in round number 2.
And there's that speed you were talking about, Al. I mean, when Martinez lets his hands go, they're so fluent. They're just back-to-back 1, 2, 3 different combinations and so fast. Martinez getting a little bit more comfortable in this round.
Really like Martinez's punch placement early, Al, able to split the guard and then sneak the left hook behind the glove.
He's an accurate puncher, and now some of those are blocked by Marrero, but you're right, some of them got through, and Martinez doesn't waste punches. And there's that double left hook. He's got a good one.
Marrero being forced on his back foot along the ropes. It's Martinez with the uptick in offense, and while not all of the punches have gotten through, he has been the aggressor here in the second round, and now Marrero starts to come forward, flashes the jab.
And despite Marrero moving up on weight, it doesn't seem like he's been hurt by Martinez taking the punch really well. One thing he did say that you know, he was having trouble already, so he feels really comfortable at this weight class.
Marrero has been beaten 4 times, but again, we talked about the level of competition that he has faced, and of course for Martinez, a big step up in class here, looking to really prove his worth as an up-and-coming fighter at 130 pounds, and again, just 22 years of age.
He's fighting here tonight. His trainer, Dean Lebet, got COVID, couldn't be here with him. He trained him all the way through. So Carlos De Leon Jr., the son of the great cruiserweight champion, is in his corner.
Final 10 seconds of the second round, and Martinez continues to lead the dance as things just continue to warm up here in this second fight of the night.
Well, I mentioned that Martinez, when he throws combinations, is just very effective. And there's that jab that he talked about, which didn't land, but it did get him in position to land that left hook. And then here he is ready to throw combinations. And he works the body and doubles with the hook, even though the one to the head didn't get in. That's the combination punch he can do. And there's Ray Woods.
They relax. He's starting to loosen up now. Looking good.
Wait for the belt, champ.
Martinez under the bright lights here on a Saturday night, and yet 22, still as cool as a proverbial cucumber, as Marrero looking to make life a bit more difficult here. Marrero, the aggressor, to start round 3.
And you know, I'm going to make a statement that might sound nutty, but Marrero's really getting it going offensively. Any round in the first 5 in which Marrero doesn't get knocked out is a good round for him.
That was a gluteus maximus punch there by Marrero.
we didn't see what was happening in Marrero's corner, but in Martinez, it seemed like it was just really quiet, really, like didn't tell him much. But Marrero, I guess they told him, hey, you got to go, let your hands go.
He sure did.
I think, again, that speaks to the confidence and the composure, the poise of Xavier Martinez.
Yes.
Who turned pro at the age of 17 in Mexico. His first passion was football. It was his father who persuaded him to try boxing at the age of 6.
Break. Stop holding the head.
And Martinez told us he likes to be aggressive, but he's also aware of what's coming back at him. When he comes back with something, Martinez says he likes to counter the counter and just be aggressive, as he's displaying here in round number 3.
The team of Marrero feels this is kind of a restart to his career. He's 31. They said he's young enough. He's in a new weight class, and they feel like he's been more disciplined in his approach to training, and they think this is kind of a restart. So this could, and of course, this would be a significant win for him if he got it.
Yeah, and early in his career when he was on his way up, displayed versatility, top shelf power, and poise under pressure, and well, he was dropped with a nasty hook to the jaw at end of round 7 against Jesus Rojas. and was counted out, and that kind of stopped his trajectory. But again, he is wanting to prove that at 31, and he's been in there with the likes of Tugstut and Nyambayar, who we just saw eke out a split decision over Kobia Bridi in the Fight Sphere last month. So Marrero, like you mentioned, Al, done what he did at 126, wants to continue to his career at 130, but Martinez making life difficult.
Okay, he just took two huge power punches from Martinez. Now, we'll see if that hurt him. But Abner, those were big punches.
Those were right when Mo was saying that Martinez tapped him with two vicious right hands, popped his head back and everything. Marrero, I mean, he's showing a great chin, though. I mean, from a guy that's moving up on weight, he's showing a great chin because Martinez, he carries power.
Stout whiskers in that beard for Marrero. 10 seconds now left here in round 3. Marrero able to pivot away from the corner, but does not fire back from the southpaw, feinting.
How are you feeling? What's going on? You have to fight in the middle of the ring, please. In the middle of the ring. And keep your hands up because he's working with the hook. He's looking to connect with that hook, okay? Please put some ice behind my leg. Only with water behind the leg. Just a little massage.
The early part of that last round, Marrero came out on fire and did some very effective work. Getting in the kind of right hook, good body punches, and he just kept going to work, and the straight left hand. So early in the round, it was all Marrero, but then Martinez was able to come back and land that nice short left hook. This is the hook that should have knocked him down, really. I mean, he's got a great left hook. He should have gone down from that punch, but he didn't.
We have reached round number 4, scheduled for 12 in this 130-pound attraction. The undefeated Xavier Martinez at 15-0 with 11 knockouts against the 31-year-old Claudio Marrero, making his 130-pound debut with a record of 24-4, 17 knockouts. And Marrero double and triple pumping that jab.
We haven't seen Martinez get hit with a really good straight left hand yet from Marrero. He's been hit with a couple, but not a really good one. And we'll see how he responds when he's hit by Marrero. And has Marrero brought his power up to this weight class?
Speaking of power, let's take a look at the power punches last round.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, Marrero, because of the quick early start and some of the things he did early in the round, was able to land more. And, of course, power punch everything other than the jab.
And Abner Marrero's taken his speed up to 130, it seems, showing some real good hand speed.
Yeah, not only the speed, but also the experience. Before that sequence right there that Martinez landed, Marrero had him at bay. Marrero had him at a distance and had Martinez thinking. And why he was doing that was because he was touching with that left. He was touching with that left, touching his jab, not letting him in. And when Martinez let his hands go, Marrero will catch him. But right now, Martinez doing a really good job in the inside.
Yeah, trying to use the jab as a rangefinder. Leads with the right and again goes upstairs with that left hook, partially blocked by Marrero's glove.
That's a nice combination punching from Martinez. But you notice he can't stay in there and do that forever because he respects Marrero in terms of what he can bring to the dance.
It's like Martinez is doing a drum solo, though, with some of these combinations, putting them together and finding the target. Marrero was already proven he can take a shot. Less than a minute left here in the 4th frame.
Watch your head.
But I like what Martinez is doing. I don't see no urgency of him trying to knock out a Marrero. He's taking his time, choosing his punches. Obviously, Marrero, he's the experienced fighter. He's going to have Martinez in trouble, having him thinking like as he's having him now with that jab feints. But Martinez so far doing a really fantastic job. Like those angles that he's doing right now.
Martinez continues to pump out the jab. Lands the right hand. Marrero with the lead left and a chopping right hand over the top as we conclude 4 rounds.
Time.
Let's go to Steve Farhood.
Mo, about 5-6 years ago, Claudio Marrero fought on Showbox, our series on Showtime. He was 25 years old, and he was the up-and-comer. But time waits for no man, and now he's the veteran, and the 22-year-old Xavier Martinez is looking to make his name against Marrero. So it's kind of an interesting thing where Showbox being 20 years old, the series, you see fighters come and go, and you see fighters advance from prospect to contender, and then sometimes they're the contender that the prospect wants to make his name against. That's the case tonight.
The fact that Showbox is 20 years old, that puts Steve Farhood at about 41, I think, now.
I was just going to say, makes me feel old.
Some scintillating stoppages on the recent episode of Showbox here in the fights.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's a great series.
This is round number 5 of this 130-pound tilt. The undefeated Xavier Martinez on his back foot as the veteran Claudio Marrero comes forward momentarily, lands a 1-2.
Watch that backhand.
You know, we're going to get to see as this fight goes on, you know, Marrero has not always been the most dedicated in training, but Dean Labette, his trainer, said he has for this fight. And Claudio said, I'm more mature. I understand what's at stake. And we're going to see as this fight moves on how well he does, because almost his entire plan in this fight is about getting Martinez in the later rounds where he can go to work.
Couple of nice left hands to the midsection by Marrero. Marrero getting more aggressive, but Martinez trying to fight his way off the ropes. Lands a punch there, including the right through the guard.
And it's when Marrero has Martinez on his back foot that he does damage. He doesn't give Martinez the opportunity. When he just on cue, he lands a nice hook. But Martinez has to be a little bit more busy. He's letting Marrero in too easy.
And what happens when the puncher is pushed back? That's always the question, right? When you push the puncher back, how does he respond to it?
Well, this is how Martinez responds, putting Marrero on. And yet Martinez, one of these fighters, and I hear it a lot, and Abner, you're the fighter on the broadcast team. They say they don't look at film of their opponents, and that I never understand that.
No, it was up.
You ready for this one?
Uh-oh.
I never did also. You know, what happens, sometimes you get this image of a fighter in your head, and then fight comes up, and it is a totally different image, you know, so I just let my trainer tell me, guide me, and whatever I see is because, you know, that I was not expecting that, and I mean expecting it on the side of my coach telling me, but not physically seeing it on a tape. So,
like I said, why would any fighter want to watch videotape?
So yeah, not
That's
the right guy to ask. No.
Under a minute left here, and Marrero stabbing the thigh area of Martinez with that jab, and Martinez coming forward now.
Break.
Or as Emily Latella used to say, never mind.
Oh, there's a nice counter left hand by Marrero.
They're both getting after it, and you know, Marrero's taking more chances in this round, which could be a problem for him. But man, he took another big left hook, and he's not getting hurt.
At the end of that combination, but you're right, Al, not even budging. Maybe some marks on his face, but he has absorbed Martinez's power shots. Final 10 seconds of the fifth. Things heating up here between Claudio Marrero and Xavier Martinez.
Time.
Well, Claudio Marrero pushed Martinez against the ropes early in the round and was going to test him. He lands a nice left hand. He's going to throw in an uppercut here in a second or two, too. And he wanted to test this young man. Let's push him back. But Martinez showed his mettle after that, getting Marrero against the ropes and showing us, not everything's landing. He's throwing his combinations and sneaking in a left hook. And at the end of the round, it was Martinez sneaking that right hand through. And there's always the left hook. Boy, when he has a chance to crank that punch up, he's going to do it every time. And this one landed big. That was the one that we thought might hurt him.
Sixth round, competitive contest here between Martinez and Marrero. Marrero flashing the jab, being parried there by Martinez.
You know, Martinez and Ray Woods have such a wonderful relationship. You know, Martinez said it's not like trainer and fighter, it's like father and son. And he said that makes me want to win more. And not often do boxers have that relationship. I mean, he's looking across the way at a guy that's had, you know, a number of trainers over the last few years.
And Martinez clipping Marrero with that right hand. And we've seen Marrero take some shots, and there is some swelling under his right eye that I'm sure everyone with vested interest will be keeping a close eye on. Martinez attacking the body, then goes upstairs. Marrero trying to roll and defend these punches, but still getting hit.
And this is a good fight for Martinez. You know, he's fighting a guy that's moving up. You know, he carries some punch, but a different weight class, and really is pushing Martinez. You know, putting him in a position where he is learning experience. You know, you're not always going to get the knockout. And I like what Martinez is doing. He is he's really taking his time, really being smart in there, picking his punches, as we're seeing there. And, you know, when he backs up is the only moment that Marrero, you know, gets the better of him.
And by pacing himself, too, he's never been past 8 rounds, Martinez. And this fight could well go beyond that. And it could go all the way to 12, which he's certainly never seen. So if he set too torrid an early pace early, he wouldn't get there.
Yeah, he's been very methodical, and now these bursts of energy, putting together the combinations, nothing really getting through, but sending Marrero the message. Marrero comes forward, high guard, takes some of the steam off of Martinez's punches, but not throwing anything back there. Tried a short right hook.
I'm going to tell you again, though, every round he gets through here, even though he's taking some punishment, he's not being beaten up exactly. Every round puts Marrero closer to a spot where he might be able to test Martinez, who's never been very far in a fight. Only 8 rounds.
30 seconds left here in round number 6. Mid-range, Marrero comes forward, straight left to the sternum of Martinez. Martinez again doubling up on that left hook. There's a combination, clubbing right, and Martinez working the body at the ropes, and then a short right hand upstairs. We've reached the midpoint of this 12-round, 130-pound fight. And following this fight will be the main event. There's Sergey Lipinets, former champion at 140 pounds, now 3-0 at 147. He wants the big names, he wants the big fights, and tonight, well, he gets a late notice replacement, but a live underdog in his Canadian opponent. Lipinets, of course, looking to become a 2-division champion, while Clayton, he feels that he's been waiting 2 years for this opportunity. Undefeated Canadian who is a member of the Canadian Olympic team and really feels that he is going to make the most of this opportunity in his American debut. He is going to seize the opportunity, and he feels he's going to become a new force at 147. That's still to come in tonight's main event.
You have the experience. Come on. Keep hitting him low. Keep hitting him that body. He can't take it.
Time. We'll see the top.
Aquí.
Dr. Alessi inspecting Claudio Marrero's swollen right eye, allowing him to continue here in round number 7.
You know, Marrero is shaking his left hand a lot. I wonder if there's some issue with it. We're going to see how often he throws it. Well, he threw it there. Guess he answered my question, huh?
Marrero attacking the body with the left hand. All right, our unofficial score, Steve Farland, how do you have it at the midpoint?
Mo, I think this is a pretty close fight. I have Martinez ahead 58-56. Of course, the judges are looking for clean, effective punching. And one of the reasons Martinez might have an edge up to this point in that is because Marrero occasionally gives him free shots, just lifts his guard up and lets Martinez punch. Still, each fighter's had his moments. Each fighter's had moments of coming forward and going backward. It's a pretty close fight. It's going to be decided in the second half.
And those words that Steve just spoke are music to Marrero's ears, at least at this point, because he thinks that's when he can shine in this fight. We'll find out.
Marrero trying to introduce his own form of dancing.
That looks like the Macarena. Pretty sure.
It's not the electric slide. Or the Tusi slide for the kids. A minute and a half left here in round 7, and Marrero may be up to his histrionics, but it's Martinez remaining focused on the game plan, is not being taken off of his game by Marrero, and Martinez continues to come forward.
Yeah, in the game by Marrero that you mentioned, you know, him dancing, pushing his hand with that jab and trying to get Martinez out of his game plan, but Martinez really staying poised, picking his punches.
And yet Marrero continues to attack the body with the left hand, hoping that it will reap dividends the deeper we go into this bout.
A little redness around the right eye of Martinez where he's taking some left hands. Nothing too dramatic, but...
Get back on the field.
Counter right hand lands for Martinez, misses with the jab. Marrero assessing the situation and showcasing his defense, but does not return fire.
Martinez had a hamstring injury and some bruised ribs that were bothering him, but they said he's completely healthy for this fight, and he certainly looks it.
Marrero trying to pick off Martinez. Gets hit with a left hook.
Beautiful, Bobby. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
There you go. Beautiful. There you go.
See, that's it. The counter punch. That's what we need to work. A little water here.
Vaseline, please.
Right here in my hand. You got it.
Wow.
Let's go. Let's keep going. Your legs are strong. This is round 8. He's never passed 12 rounds. Now you got to start picking it up. You understand me? This is the 8th. He's never passed this 8th round. So this is where we step it up, okay? And in the middle of the ring, start fighting. Do the fake and then come in. The body, and then you can. He'll leave it open, the head.
Oh.
Thank you.
So the corner on the same page as Al Bernstein. As Al, they feel that this fight is going according to Marrero's plan in many ways.
Well, and we're going to find that out in the next couple of rounds, aren't we? Can he get the job done in these rounds? And Carlos De Leon Jr., of course, that was Dean Labette who trained him for this. Oh my!
It's that right hook that drops Martinez. The right hook to the temple.
6, 7. Come to me, buddy. Go that way. Give me your hand.
For the first time in Martinez's career, he gets knocked down, and it was a sharp right hook that dropped Martinez, and Marrero drops him up.
Oh, stay in the corner.
He dropped him
3,
again.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay.
And we are early in this round. A lot of time left to go.
And on cue, Marrero beginning to take over. 2 knockdowns in round 8, mauling Martinez. We said that Martinez had been the epitome of composure, but now under fire, trying to come back, but being marked up and tattooed by Claudio Marrero.
Marrero's just going for the kill already, and he needs to.
Marrero looking for his 18th knockout. Martinez down for the first 2 times of his career in what has been a catastrophic 8th round for the undefeated fighter. Now it's Marrero coming forward, still showing composure, but Abner, the hand speed, the placement, the sharpness, it's really, well, turned the tide of this fight in the 8th round.
Yeah, and I was just going to mention when the first round, when I started, that Marrero was showing a different face. He came in really quick like he did in a few rounds back, and, you know, that's when he caught Martinez with that hook. Not being able to finish on Martinez yet, but what a round for Marrero.
So Martinez trying now to survive the 8th round, but there is a mouse underneath the left eye.
Stop pushing. Martinez showing a lot of grit and determination to stay upright for the rest of this round.
And Marrero not overly committing to stopping the fight.
Well, I think he figures, you know, I was planning on the 8th, 9th, 10th rounds being for me, so I've done well in round 8.
Well, you said that Martinez had never been past 8th. Well, this is going to be an 8th round that he will remember for a while. He'll have to regroup in between rounds and try to get back into it in round number 9.
Who's the doctor here?
Give that water here. How you feel, eh? Okay.
Rub his legs.
Roll their leg. Hey, I told you.
Stay on my front.
Well, there were 2 knockdowns in this past round. We'll look at the first one, our first look at it, and it would come courtesy of a beautiful right hook. Marrero's not known as a right hook artist, but he does have a good right hook. And that left to the body set that right hook up so perfectly, and they told him to march out and start throwing big punches, and guess what? That is exactly what he did. Now we'll take a look at the second knockdown. He was working well on the inside. Again, the right hook was the big weapon, and Abner, he just kept going after him.
Yeah, it was the accumulation of punches backing up Martinez. That knockdown obviously was just that, the accumulation of punches.
Time.
Dr. Alessi will now inspect Martinez's face. And a quick inspection allows this fight to continue. And we are now in round 9, scheduled for 12. 130-pound affair between the undefeated Xavier Martinez, who went down twice, the first 2 knockdowns of his career in round 8 against Claudio Marrero, moving up to 130 pounds.
And again, Marrero mentioned that he was really comfortable at this weight class. He definitely is showing that right now in this fight. Also, big mention that he said that, you know, most of his fights, he was never 100%, always had problems, family problems, and he took care of all of that. And today is the very first fight that he fights with any problems, you know, coming into the fight.
Well, Marrero was expected to be Martinez's toughest test, and Steve Farhood, it's proven to be the case. Let's bring you back for your unofficial scorecard after 8 rounds.
Round changed everything, Mo. 10-7 round, clearly for Marrero. I have it 75-75, which is actually good news for Martinez because he suffers a 10-7 round, and on my card at least, still in the fight.
But the bad news is Marrero is beginning to find his target. His punch placement is diverse. Martinez trying to remain in the pocket, remain standing again. Gone down twice the last round, but Al trying to bounce back, and so far so good here in the 9th.
Yeah, at least this is a stable round where, you know, it's a very close round, and he hasn't landed anything major, but he's keeping Marrero at bay.
And maybe this is the time where Martinez needs to walk to his left. Again, we mentioned that he has been walking to his right this whole time. That's a big no-no against southpaws, and you know, I think that's a major reason why he's getting caught so easily by Marrero.
Power punches last round, you can see big edge from Marrero, and more importantly, the ones he landed were much more powerful.
Final minute of round number 9. Martinez trying to bounce back after a terrible 8th. Marrero on his back foot.
And even though this has been a round in which Martinez has hung in there, you can make a case that Marrero's controlling it enough to win it.
Lead right hand, actually. Martinez lunging in out of distance, and there's that left hand to the body again that Martinez was able to take some of the steam off of by jumping back. Sharp jab for Martinez.
Time. Relax, 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 relax.
How you feel?
Good.
Good. All you do is stay focused. Don't let him fight.
Okay.
Move your head off center.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Relax, relax. Want another one?
Yeah.
Keep working my legs there.
Aye. Aye.
The legs. I need the legs. To work on the legs, please. Alrighty. But we're good. We're good in this fight.
Sigue trabajando.
Keep working. Do keep working. And in the middle of the ring. In the middle.
Tao.
Round number 10, and Claudio Marrero keeps talking about his legs. Abner, are you able to add any insight whatsoever? I know you're not in the corner, but what, are you able to pick up on any reason as to why Marrero keeps talking about his legs in the corner?
I didn't quite hear that much, but you know, one thing maybe, you know, if you put eyes on those legs, you know, they're a bit tired. Who knows? Did not quite hear what they were saying on that corner.
Well, maybe he should stop dancing as much.
Yeah, he did dance, but he's using his footwork really well. Look at that.
He's doing very well. And on cue, he's showing that there's no issues.
Issues, exactly.
Jab lands for Martinez. Single shot. Still on his back foot is Marrero with his histrionics. Gloves are down, but then the up jab by Marrero wants to bait Martinez into a counter-punching situation. There's another jab that lands for Marrero.
With someone that feints as much as Marrero, you got to feint back to have him thinking too. Marrero, you're doing it really well against Martinez. Martinez just has to be careful with that.
And now that up jab by Marrero has definitely created some problems for Martinez.
Yeah, his jabbing is not, he's got a good jab. It doesn't land all the time, but it can set things up.
Just past the midpoint of the 10th round. Again, it was a chopping right hook 20 seconds into round 8 that sent Martinez down for the first time in his career. And then just 20 seconds later, Martinez went down again, a left-right left combination. An accumulation of blows by Marrero. And here in round 10 with a minute left, remains a competitive affair.
You know, we can say that, oh, well, he hasn't gone past 8 rounds and Marrero should do better in these late rounds. But it's up to Marrero to do that. In these last 2 rounds, he hasn't been super aggressive. I think he might be winning this round. The last one he might have given away, but, you know, he's got to get the job done.
The Enswell may become the most valuable participant in this fight before it's all over, as there's swelling under the eye of both fighters, actually. The right eye of Marrero and the, well, both eyes of Martinez now. And again, Marrero showcasing his fancy footwork here in the final seconds of the 10th.
Let's go. You've taken the will out of him. He doesn't want to keep fighting. Box him. Now you box. Okay. You keep boxing. Let me get a little water here.
Well, Marrero has some swelling around his right eye, as Morrow alluded to, as does Martinez on both eyes. But here's where a jab would land exactly on that eye. We saw that in the last fight when with Hawkins. Then later on, another one would get there for Martinez as Marrero missed with that straight left hand. So a couple times he was able to do that. That was a very close round and could be a very important round in this fight, depending on who wins that round. The last two have been pivotal, I think.
When you look at show stats as well, very close numbers-wise, just one barometer. But yeah, competitive affair here. Round number 11, scheduled for 12. Marrero goes over the top with the right. Now circling to his right is Martinez.
You know, I think if you're Claudio Marrero right now, you want to step on the gas if you can, because you're facing a known prospect, somebody that people think is a hot guy in the division, and you got that 10-7 round, but you know you better get after it.
Watch the back of that hook, break. Keep it clean, fellas.
And we've talked about the fact that Marrero has a lot more experience going past 10 rounds. He has been 12 rounds a couple of times and 10 rounds as well. So he's done much more. He's 2-0 at 10 rounds and 1-2 at 12 rounds. And that's how the fight breaks down in terms of numbers. And you see how those last two, or there's a scoring of Steve Farhood, excuse me. And you see Steve scoring in the last two rounds.
Yeah, Martinez beginning to find his tempo and his rhythm again a little bit, Abner, going back to that double left hook and becoming more offensive.
And what you're seeing is he's walking to his left. He's waiting for Marrero to come in. He gets him jab, jab, right hand, and he turns him to his left. That's exactly what you need to do against a southpaw.
And that was his plan coming in.
There it is. You keep moving him to that left. You jab. He's got his hands down. He's got his eye almost shut. So, you know, keep working that jab.
And Marrero, you know, he found a home for that right hook. He needs to get himself in position where he can throw it. And the way to do that is jab your way in and then be within striking distance to throw that hook.
I like what Martinez is doing now. He's just waiting for Marrero to come in. He catches him with the 1-2. They see 1-2 or hook or body punches, but definitely just waiting for Marrero to make the mistakes.
Final 45 seconds of the 11th round, and together Marrero and Martinez have combined to throw over 1,000 punches, with Marrero having an edge in total punches landed, but again, a competitive affair. We did see Martinez go down twice in the 8th round, but we have just over 3 minutes left to determine the fate of these two fighters. Marrero in his 130-pound debut. Martinez stepping up in class, looking to remain undefeated.
There's the last round. You got to throw now. You got to throw, and a lot. The fight is very close, okay? So this round, you got to really throw. Open up here. You got to throw and throw a lot. And it's very close. This fight is very close. You got to take this round coming up.
Win this one. Win this one. Win this one. Okay. He probably gonna come out and try to chase him. Pick up. Here. Thank you, sir.
Both corners letting it be known how important this 12th and final round might be.
Got your mouthpiece?
To the scorecards.
Time. Come on, gentlemen. You got his mouthpiece? Come here, boys. Touch gloves. Time in.
So here we are, 12th and a final round. The outcome could hang in the balance in these final 3 minutes.
And will Marrero really regret the fact that he had 2 full minutes after 2 knockdowns and could not finish the job against Martinez back in the 8th round?
And in fact, Martinez has bounced back pretty impressively, especially on our unofficial scorecard holder, Steve Farhood.
Yeah, and the question will be, did the judges give all those 3 rounds to Martinez? Certainly he did come back, and they were all 3, I thought, pretty close rounds.
And he's off to an aggressive start here in the final round, chasing down Marrero.
Marrero cannot move back in this round. I think Marrero's got to move forward and look to establish some kind of dominance to show that he is the guy in control in these final rounds.
And Abner, you mentioned the experience. Martinez now going past 8 rounds for the first time, being down twice for the first 2 times in his career. It's all about building character, overcoming adversity, and he is well on his way to learning a very valuable lesson should he emerge victorious, because he has indeed overcome adversity in this fight.
All of the above. He overcame adversity. He went down. He was almost out, and he was able to establish, round by round, setting up punches. I mean, he just, tonight he grew as a fighter, and he's going to go back and see this fight and also learn that you fight a softball to your left. I mean, again, I got to keep bringing it up. I don't know why Martinez keeps fighting him to his right. He's got to turn him, keep using that jab, but definitely Martinez growing in this fight.
And for Marrero, in what is supposed to be a restart for his career, this win is important to him. He doesn't want to have another close call where he fought somebody good and didn't win. So it's incumbent upon him right now, I think, to go after Martinez, and he's only got 48 seconds left to do it. This is another close round, but one in which you can make the case Martinez has done more effective work.
Yeah, Marrero playing the matador when he should be more the bull here with under 30 seconds left. And Marrero proving that his, power did come up 4 pounds north, as he did drop Martinez twice. But Martinez has been able to get back into the fight, throw together his combinations, take the fight back to Marrero. And you're right, Al, when Marrero goes back and rewatches the fight, will it be a case of one he let get away? We're about to find out what the judges thought about this fight.
Nice fight, boys. Nice fight.
Good sign of sportsmanship. A learning tool for both fighters, and it goes 12 rounds here in Marrero's 130-pound debut. Martinez hoping to overcome the 2 knockdowns and remain unbeaten. Your thoughts on the fight, Abner?
I thought it was a good fight. A fight where, obviously the experienced fighter is on the other side, but Martinez definitely grew in this fight as a fighter. He went down, he overcame adversity, showed a lot of heart, a lot of courage. And again, it's a learning fight for both, and more on Martinez's side, but definitely a good fight, a close fight.
Al, what's your biggest takeaway?
Well, we're going to go inside the ropes to see some of what I believe, and take a look back at this fight. Early on, Martinez in the early rounds doing some excellent work, getting Marrero against the ropes, landing big left hooks like that one. But then it was Marrero getting some good moments on the inside, and then in round number 8, getting that right hook going, and would twice knock down, here's the second knockdown, would twice knock down Martinez. But even with 2 minutes left in the round, he could not keep him down. And yes, he still landed the occasional knight's left hand, but in those final rounds, Martinez came back to do some pretty good work. And while Marrero was confident he would own those last 4 rounds, because Martinez had never seen the last 4, I'm not sure he did.
That double left hook, the downstairs, upstairs left hook, was money for Xavier Martinez.
Look at the show stats, and you see overall Marrero with the edge, but that's spaced out over rounds, and the body shots, of course, a little bit edge to Martinez.
With the official decision, here's Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Glenn Feldman, scores about 115 to 111. Judges Tom Carasone and John McKay both scored about 114 to 112. All three in favor of the winner of the WBA Super Featherweight World Title Eliminator, Xavier Martinez.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Xavier Martinez overcomes adversity and does indeed remain unbeaten, improving to 16-0, while Claudio Marrero's 130-pound debut, despite recording 2 knockdowns, is spoiled. He drops to 24-5.